Hi there, today we're going to look at a few different ways to stretch your psoas muscle. First things first, what is a psoas and why does it get so tight? Your psoas is a muscle that helps you flex your hip. That literally means this movement here, just the lifting of the leg, causing that crease of the hip. Your psoas muscle goes from your lower back across the front of your hip and it grabs onto your leg bone. So it literally anchors itself on your spine and enables you to lift your knee up. So why would it get so tight? Either from overuse or underuse. Overuse means repetitive motion. So can you imagine what make you go like this? Yep, we've got running, we've got biking, we've got hiking. We've also got underuse, which basically is sitting in a chair. Can you imagine at your desk all day long for long periods of time, or even say in a car or on an airplane. Now, when this muscle gets really tight, this is what happens. Since it attaches to your spine and goes across your hip and grabs your leg, what happens is when it tightens is it creates an exaggerated arch in your lower back. Can you think of a time where you got up out of the car or out of your airplane seat and you felt like, ooh, my back, it kind of aches here and it's hard to stand up tall? That's all thanks to your psoas muscle. This muscle does not operate independently. There's no way to stretch just your psoas. It works as a family, just like many of your muscles do. So you've got your psoas major, your psoas minor, your iliacus muscle, and even this quadricep muscle, all working together to help you, boop, lift that knee up. The simplest way to stretch your psoas and all together, all those hip flexor muscles that are all working as a family, is to lie down on your back, pull one knee in towards your chest, and stretch the other leg out long. Now, if you have any back pain here already, you want to keep that opposite leg a little bit bent. And when you feel ready, you can stretch it out nice and long. You're going to hold that for 30 to 60 seconds, and then you'll do the same on the other side. Here's another way to stretch your hip flexors, very common in yoga class, is the low lunge. So I'm going to take one leg forward and I'm going to start in that 90-90 position. I've got knee over ankle in front, hip over knee in the back. I also call this proposal pose, the will you marry me pose. And from here, I'm going to start by just tucking my tail under, drawing my belly in, literally taking the arch out of my lower back. Right here, you might already start to feel that stretch in your hip flexor family. If you want to go deeper, you could step this foot a little farther forward and start to lunge a little bit more. Being really careful not to arch your lower back a lot. That will take the stretch away from the psoas. I am trying to tuck my tail under, and as soon as I do that, oh my goodness, I am feeling it. Keep your hands on your knees or on the wall for balance. Hold it for 30 to 60, and then come on out and do the other side. Here's another one you can do from a lying down position. I'm going to lie on my side, rest my head on my arm or in my hand, whichever you're most comfortable with. My bottom leg is bent so I don't wibble wobble around. And I'm going to bend my top leg, reach back, and try to catch the top of my foot. I'm gently pulling. And just like I mentioned before, there's a piece that's really important here, and that is to take some of the arch out of your back. Another way to say that you'll hear in class a lot is tuck your tail under. So I'm gonna, right away I start to feel it. My belly draws in. I'm tucking my tailbone underneath me. It's called a posterior tilt of the pelvis. And now I'm really starting to feel it in my quadriceps, into this area in front of the hip. And usually it's when I come out that I feel some release or relief on my back. So what if you're at the office and you can't lie down on the floor and take a stretch? So easy. Get your chair. Grab your office chair, make sure it's not going to roll around. Step one foot up. Lift your spine nice and tall. Add your tail tuck. And then lunge forward. There's one more really effective version that maybe you've heard from your therapist, which is lying down on a bed or on your table to stretch out your psoas. So I'm going to lie down. Could be on the bed. It could be on a dining room table if you have space. I'm going to wiggle towards the edge. I've got my knees bent, and I'm going to hang one leg off the table. Now, you've really got to wiggle over to the edge so that the entire leg is hanging off the table here. And now, again, I'm starting to feel some stretch, but just as we talked about, I need to add that little tail tuck. So right now I can fit my whole hand underneath me on behind my lower back. That's not going to work very well. So, I'm going to tuck my tail, draw my abdominals in, and now I can really feel it. I'm using gravity to stretch out those hip flexor muscles. So those are a few ways to stretch your hip flexor family of muscles out. We also want to keep them strong. That's pretty simple. We can do that by laying down on the back and going for a little bicycle ride or doing some single leg lifts. This is also great for your core, or even some double leg lifts. And if those aren't for you, you can stand up tall and march in place or go for a nice walk. That's a bit about your psoas, how to stretch it and keep it healthy today. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you again really soon.